everybody, welcome back to the Real Estate Update. I'm Juan Rodriguez with Juador Realty. This is the June 2024 edition. And once again, home sales continue to move along at a relatively decent pace. Interest rates come down recently, right? They're kind of going up and down, fluctuating a little bit. We're seeing a little bit of action, but homes are still moving. Let's look at the numbers. You'll see what we're talking about. Here we go. Typically what we show you first every month is the year-over-year comparison for the prior month, and in this case for June of 2024. We take all the sales and we break them up into different price ranges for easier comparison, and then we bring it to you. So let's look at that. The first group, the 0 to almost 200,000. Once again, not that many homes available for sale at that price point, so you're going to see that decrease of sales over the years. The next group, 200 to almost 400,000, a decrease of sales. That's because the average prices of homes sold is actually into the next group. So you can kind of see how that kind of jumped back in 2021. You can kind of see that it really jumped over to the next group. Okay, so the next group in itself, 400 to almost 600,000. There's a decrease of sales. You know, not terribly bad because you're actually still getting almost 400 homes sold at that price point for the month, and it's still relatively high. It's the second highest, right? And I'll just let you know that for June, the average prices of homes actually jumped just slightly, and when I say slightly, I mean in number-wise, it's actually relatively a big amount, but it was about 7% up to about 606,000. That puts it into the next group. We haven't seen this, I think, ever. So this may, well, I won't say ever, but this was the first time in a long time that we've seen this happen. Okay, so it's now into this price range, and it will fluctuate. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's gonna take off from here or anything, but this is interesting because it will fluctuate and go back and forth for a little bit, but it's been on that higher end of that 400 to almost 600 price range. It's been on that higher end for quite a while, and it's fluctuated up and down a little bit, and now it seemed to have go past that point. But again, next month, who knows? It can drop back down. You know, only time will tell. We just bring you guys the numbers. We don't predict anything, right? So let's look at that group. Again, I said there's a decrease of sales. Still, homes are selling at that price point, obviously. So it's not that big of a concern. The next group, 800 to almost 1 million, decrease of sales. Again, not that big of a concern. Why? Because that's a higher price range that, again, is not in the average. It's not the average for most people, right? The next group, the $1 million plus, there's a decrease of sales. Now, this is something that we haven't seen for quite a while. Typically, this price range has been leading the previous year, or has been increasing from the previous year for the prior months. But nevertheless, still, that's a lot of homes in the $1 million plus price range that are selling. So the concern really isn't there for that price range either. That being said, we're relatively busy. We have a lot of people looking for homes. We have a lot of sellers contacting us. It's just one of those things where, you know, in my opinion, there's a fine balance in the market right now. And that can be illustrated by looking at the next group, or the next graph, and typically what we show you second every month, right? Is the days on the market. Now, the days on the market is important because what it's going to show you is the velocity of the market. How fast are these homes coming to the market, going under contract, and then of those sell, right? So we want to see the shortest time period on the market as possible. It's not going to happen. We don't want to see, you know, like we saw in the last couple of years, where it was like 90+% of the market sold within a couple of days, or even less than 30 days. That didn't leave much available for the the average buyer, right? So we like to see a more balanced approach. So this graph here, let's look at this. The orange represents the 0 to 30 days on the market. About 62% of the market. That's actually very, very healthy, very fast transactions going on there. And I'm okay with that. We're okay with that. And again, this is just our opinion. It's nothing that's set in concrete or stone. The next group, the 31 to 60 days on the market, about 18%. The next group, 61 to 90 days on the market, represented in the blue there, is about 9%. So let's just pause it, and we like to see, and again, this is our opinion, we like to see 0 to 90 days on the market represent about 75 to 80% of the market, of the days on the market that's sold for the prior month, right? So what does that mean? That means, again, going back to those numbers that are arbitrary, that's just what we picked, 75 to 80% of the market, in our opinion, is a healthy market. That leaves about 25% over that, at 75% or 20 if it's 80. That's just our opinion, and it represents a very healthy market, a very balanced market where buyers and sellers kind of have some bargaining chips, right? Now, again, you got to price your home right. If you're selling, if you're buying, in our opinion, you still should be aggressive, ready to go, and aggressive. No low-balling offers. Just be ready to go, and when you're ready to buy, buy. Okay? If you can afford it, do it. In our opinion. So, all right, back to the graph. Those three categories make up about 89% of this market, of days on the market for June. Okay, that leaves about, what, 11% left over? Not bad, right? Very healthy in our opinion. That being said, that's it. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, reach out to us. We'll respond to you as soon as we can. But that's it. So happy house hunting or selling. We'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.